All right, what's up, everybody? It's Carlton Flowers here with Family Sports Network, FSN, and boy, we've got a great show coming at you today because it's game day. Yes, divisional round game day with the Chiefs and the Bills, and I am guaranteeing a win, and I'm gonna break it down for you exactly why I can guarantee that win of at least 7 points or more. So we're going to get into all the details, who's playing, who's not playing, injury report, strategy, and why this is going to be such a great game for Patrick Mahomes and crew. First time on the road in the playoffs since he has been a starter. So anyhow, I'm repping my hometown, Holt Summit gear here. This is where I grew up. I grew out too. Shout out to Tim Largent, who makes the Holt Summit gear. This is really neat. He created his own brand so that we can proudly rep H to the S. Look at that. Pretty good stuff. Okay, so the game is today at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I am so excited because the Chiefs are coming off of a dominant performance at Arrowhead Stadium against the Dolphins, which was the fourth coldest playoff game in the history of the NFL. We had a lot of high points and some low points. Most of the high points were with the Chiefs. Dolphins only had one little glimmer of flash, which was the 60-yard touchdown on the big play by Tyreek Hill, where Tua Tagovailoa actually underthrew the ball, but Tyreek, being the generational talent that he is, came back for the ball. A couple jukes later, was in the end zone. So that was their one little flash in the pan high point, and the rest of it was all Chiefs with a final score of 26-7, where we saw Patrick Mahomes throwing for 262 and one touchdown with Rashee Rice, the record-holding rookie receiver for the Chiefs in Chiefs history, with one touchdown, and Isaiah Stompin Pacheco for 89 yards and one rushing touchdown. Some are saying that this game that is going to happen today at 5:30 is one of the best individual rivalries developing since the days of Brady versus Manning. That's right. We got Patrick Mahomes versus that other guy. What's the Bills quarterback's name? I can't remember his name, but at any rate, you got the greatest quarterback, the GOAT, the new GOAT, who's going to replace Tom Brady, against this other guy that he keeps going up against and normally wins. I can't say all the time because we did give away a game this season because of a certain individual that we are going to discuss. But at any rate, this is turning out to be one of the best rivalries that has developed since Brady versus Manning. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. It's going to be a heavyweight fight rematch between several dominant athletes, and I think it's set to impress. Okay, so let's talk about who is going to be playing in this game and who is out. First of all, we'll go with the Chiefs and talk about who is out. We will be missing Derek Nottie to a tricep, and that's kind of sad. We will probably miss him. Derek Nottie has stepped it up this season, as we have seen Colin Saunders, whose mother just happens to be my wife's college roommate. Shout out to Kim. Yay! Derek Nottie has stepped up since Colin went to get his bag of $14.5 million. Woo! And I think we are going to miss him out there today, just a little bit. Next, we've got Sky Moore is officially out with the knee injury. I don't know if we're going to miss him too much. Sky has had a few flashes in the pan, but he has not impressed in his sophomore campaign, living up to expectations. So I don't think that's going to hurt really bad. Third on the list of people out for the Chiefs is Kadarius Toney with a hip and an ankle. Now, it would have been poetic justice to have Kadarius Toney in this game, to have a breakout game and vindicate himself for that stupid play when they had one of the greatest improvised plays in the history of the NFL, which should have been the game-winning touchdown, called back because Kadarius had his foot on the line. It would have been poetic justice for him to be in this game and pull off some great plays. Now, we have discussed Kadarius Toney in previous videos, and for those of you who think that they're going to cut and move from him, think again. Go back and watch my previous video. Kadarius Toney ain't going anywhere, even though he is absolutely and totally injury prone. Often injured, more often on the injured list than in the game playing. But he's on a rookie deal. He's cheap, okay? And you got a guy that has some flashes in the pan. He's showing flashes of juke ability, if that's a word, that kind of reminds me of Barry Sanders, all right? Turn Barry into a receiver, and you kind of have Kadarius Toney. The potential is there. We don't know if it's going to play out yet or not, but you certainly don't move on from a receiver on a rookie deal that has shown flashes of greatness with that juke ability, or he could become a breakout player. Will he remain injury prone next season? I don't know. But they're not going to cut him and move on because we have to have good depth in the receiver position. And when it's cheap and you have a player that has good capability and talent, those are the ones you keep around. All right, last on the list of who is out for the Chiefs would be Wanya Morris. That kind of sucks. He's still on the concussion protocol, so we won't have our big guy on the line helping out with this big win. Questionable for the Chiefs would be Justin Ross with a hamstring. Hopefully Justin Ross can play because, like I said, we need all the depth in the receiver position for this game as we can, being out there on the road, out in the cold. Next on the list is Charles Omenihu, dealing with a hamstring and a sickness. We don't know if it's a cold or if it's the flu or what it is, but it would be nice to have big man Omenihu out there on the defense, stuffing the rundown of the Buffalo Bills. So I'm praying that he gets over the sickness and that he is in the game. Last, we've got Willie Gay, who's dealing with a neck injury, and that one's kind of looking shaky. I'm not thinking that we're going to see Willie Gay in this game. All right, let's move on to the Buffalo Bills, and then we're going to talk about why the Chiefs are going to get this win and the strategy from both sides. Out for the Buffalo Bills would be Christian Benford, the cornerback, with a knee injury. Next, we've got Gabe Davis, the receiver, who is out of there with a knee. That's significant. That is significant. Taylor Rapp, safety, is out with a calf. Baylon Spector, the linebacker, is out with a back injury. Questionable for the Bills. We've got Terrell Bernard, the linebacker, with an ankle. We got Rasul Douglas, cornerback, with a nagging knee injury. We got Teron Johnson, the cornerback, with a concussion, and Sam Martin, the punter, with a hamstring. That's not good. You don't want a punter, your starting punter, to be on the questionable list with a hamstring, and then you're going to have him out there kicking when the hamstring is the most important part on a punter, okay? So that might not be a good thing for the Bills. It might play into the Chiefs' favor. Let's move on to the DNP list for the Buffalo Bills. The did not participate in practice. I can't talk today. There are two significant people that did not participate in practice, which could end up being significant to the outcome of this game. And the first is none other than Stefon Diggs. Okay, so when you have a breakout receiver, your 1-2 punch is Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Gabe is out, and Stefon did not practice. That's not good. And we think that they're just not wanting to come out and say that he's going to be missing this game and keep the Chiefs guessing so that they cannot adjust and make a new strategy. Because if both Gabe Davis and Stefon Diggs are out, boy, you could make one hell of a shift on your defensive strategy that could really shut down the Bills. So I don't blame them for trying to not show the cards, to show the hand, and keep us guessing on whether or not Stefon is going to be playing. I don't think he's going to be playing today. And if he does, I think he's going to be severely limited. Next, which is significant, is Von Miller. Did not participate in practice. I don't know how effective Von is going to be or has been, but certainly at his age and dealing with some injuries, if he did not participate in practice, I don't think he's going to be a significant factor of this good Buffalo Bills defense, because the Bills, The Bills do have a respectable defense. They are legit. I think the Chiefs have a better defense, okay, when we compare that. And moving on to strategy and why I'm guaranteeing this game for the Chiefs, we have seen the offense of the Chiefs step it up, make adjustments, fix some things. They're on the rise. Now, when you turn up the heat on the Chiefs offense and the defense is already there, and you got the shakiness that we've seen with the Bills with Josh Allen chunking interceptions and your top two receivers that both could be on the sidelines during the game, you got a serious problem. Because with the strategy for the Buffalo Bills, let's just go straight into strategy. I'll start with Buffalo. They're going to have to depend on a strong rushing game. So it's going to be up to James Cook to keep him honest, to keep him rolling. And then, of course, you got Josh Allen, he's a rushing titan, okay? He's a big quarterback, not a Tennessee Titan, but a large Titan. You know what I mean? Anyway, Josh Allen is probably going to be depended on in this game to be a significant part of the total rushing yards, just like he was in the last game. Where he rambled and brambled and bumbled for that 45-yard touchdown. You have to go back and look at the video on that if you did not see it. But with the top two receivers, the top two-tier receivers being out or on the sidelines, and the stronger defense of the Chiefs, with the ability to adjust the game to stuff down the run, and knowing what they did to the Dolphins. I mean, I thought the Dolphins were going to rush, and just jam Achane down our throat. Okay, that's what I thought was going to happen. And the defense of the Chiefs stopped them, halted them right at the line. I don't remember what their total rushing yards were, but it definitely did not even approach anywhere near 100 yards. And when you are looking at coming into Buffalo in the cold, receivers are looking shaky, and you got the same defense that stuffed down that awesome Dolphins running game. Hey, Buffalo Bills, you're going to have a problem, and you might have a disappointing outcome of this game. So anyway, Josh Allen is going to be instrumental, and they're going to need James Cook to be instrumental, and they're going to need Dalton Kincaid to really step in, and they're going to have to pray. They're going to have to throw up a prayer chain that Stephon Diggs can make it through this whole game and carry the load for this depleted receiver core while they're missing their other star. And on the defensive side for the Bills, who, like I said, they got a decent defense, they're going to have to hope that they slow down the Chiefs, who are stepping up their offensive production. Another thing is Josh Allen can't throw any interceptions, which I think he's going to. And that's another reason why they're going to have to depend on a strong running game to reduce the chances of Josh chunking the picks. Okay, so on the defensive side, Bills' defensive strategy, they got a conundrum because you've got two choices. You can focus on Rashee Rice, the breakout rookie receiver for the Chiefs, who is becoming receiver number one. All right, and if you do that, you're going to leave another problem in the middle of the field, and that would be centered around Travis Kelce, okay? Kelce's going to go off. He's had enough drops. He's probably done with his drops, and as we go deeper into the season, Kelce's proven himself to be dependable. He always has. The only game where the Chiefs laid an egg was when they got smacked down by the Buccaneers and Tom Brady in that Super Bowl where they only mustered 3 field goals. But since then, we've always depended on the Chiefs to get stronger as we go deeper into the playoffs, and I think Travis Kelce is going to be dependable in this game. If they let him run loose in the middle of the field and, ad lib, Bills are going to have a problem. I think Travis is waiting for a breakout game. But if they double team him, you got another problem. And that would be Rashee Rice. And that would also be some of the other receivers core that we can depend on. MVS, who I'm telling you what, he's going to have a breakout game, guys. Mark my words. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is going to have a breakout game, and he is going to double. We're talking 100% increase. He's going to double his receiving output. Watch it happen. He is going to go from 1 catch to 2. He's going to have 2 catches. in this game. 2 whole catches. I know that sounds crazy, but watch it play out. And I tell you what, even though I'm being sarcastic, I think his 2 catches are going to be significant because this is a man who's fighting for his life to save face and earn his respect back again after the monumental, catastrophic drop at the end of the Packers game, amongst other really ridiculous drops that he's had along the way and low production, where he has only been a guy who we can say that is a good blocking receiver because he does do that. But other than that, the only thing we can depend on him for is running wind sprints up and down the field, getting low targets, and dropping half of the passes that he is targeted. So I think he's going to have a breakout game, 2 receptions and 3 targets. That's what I'm going to give MVS. All right. I think Richie James is going to be instrumental. They're going to have to watch Richie James. And really, Justin Watson could have a breakout game. You know, when you think about it, if they double Kelsey, you leave open all these other problems. And you also have Noah Gray there. Noah Gray is a good receiver. And, hey, listen to this. You got another receiver who's not a receiver who can catch the ball, and that would be none other than C.E.H. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. All 5 foot of him is an outstanding hard-running running back and back up to Pacheco, but he's a receiver. He can catch the ball. He can come out of that backfield and catch the ball. And I bet you he gets a lot of playing time because they're going to have to keep Pacheco fresh. They're going to lean on Pacheco to establish a good ground game. All right. And Clyde's going to be rotated in to keep him fresh. But I think they're going to bring in Clyde on plays where they need to free up some of our top receivers or using him as a target because he could be depended on to catch the ball. Yeah. But now, let me just jump off of the Bills strategy and jump into the Chiefs because now I'm talking Chiefs strategy. So let me just go through this. I want to make a point here. They're going to have to depend on a strong rushing game. We got Isaiah. We know he's going to run hard. CEH, who can run hard, who is a playmaker. All the stuff that people talked about CEH, I'm going to tell you what, he's earned his keep. And I don't think he's going anywhere next year. I really don't. But now, here's the X factor to the Chiefs rushing game that the Bills may not be thinking about. And that is the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, who can scramble. And when you look at total rushing yards and total passing yards, Patrick Mahomes is number 1 in the NFL. All right. Now, I would have to pull up the stats. And as a matter of fact, let me go and pull up the stats because I don't know who has more rushing yards, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. So let's look this up on the Googles. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen, rushing yards 2023. Okay, so it says here that we've got, got to click on the side here. All right, here we go. Passing, rushing. We've got 524 for Josh Allen, and we've got 389 for Patrick. Okay, so Josh does. I thought Josh had him, but when you look at total yards, Patrick Mahomes has the higher on total yards, but Josh has got him on rushing yards. Well, anyway, he's enough of a threat that he can add to the total rushing game, and I'm calling out 150 yards rushing total in this game for the Chiefs, which is going to be another reason why they're going to win this game, why I can call it, because we're going to cause these problems with utilizing CEH as a receiver and then knowing that they're going to have to try to do something to shut down some aspect of the passing game that is on the upswing for the Chiefs. All right, so they're going to have to pick their poison, double team Kelsey and leave everybody else in 1-to-1 with a quarterback that is very accurate, or let Kelsey run rampant over the middle of the field, improvising in the way that we know he can do so well. Okay, so that's the strategy. But the question I have for you, I want you to post in the comments, who do you think the playmakers are going to be? Who's going to be the playmakers for the Chiefs? And who's going to be the playmakers on the Bills? For the Chiefs' offensive side of the ball, I'm going to say the playmakers are going to be, yes, Patrick Mahomes, of course, because he's going to have a strong game. And I think, like I said, MVS is going to have his 2 catches. And I think this is Kelsey's breakout game. So that's what I'm calling. I'm calling Kelsey to be MVP for this game on the offensive side of the ball. This is going to be his breakout. And on the defense, I think Snead is going to shut down both Snead and McDuffie are going to shut down the passing game. And I think Josh is going to chunk up 2 picks. That's what I'm calling. 2 picks. So I'm thinking it's going to be a day for the cornerbacks where Snead and McDuffie are going to be dual players of the game, most valuable players on the defensive side of the ball. What do you think? Type in the comments below before the game starts. It's 1:39. All right, we've got under 4 hours now for you to post so we can see how this plays out and see who calls it the most accurately. All right. I want to give a shout out to Scott Flowers for doing the research on this game and getting the background information on the writing side. Also for production. And you're going to be seeing Scott's face pretty soon, along with several other family members who are going to be coming to visit. We've got the Detroit contingency on my Stanbro side of the family. Shout out to Michael and Daryl Stanbro in Detroit. And I'm going to try to line up an interview with one player who plays on a team that is in a rivalry with the Kansas City Chiefs, because there's a cousin on that side of the family whose nephew, this big guy, plays for the Bengals. So we're going to be looking forward to that and see if Scott and I can snag an interview. All of that's coming. Look for that. Can't wait for it. And post your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, like, comment, and subscribe and share this with somebody that you know. Oh, last but not least, condolences to my cousin Stephanie for the Packers' loss last night. I thought the Packers were going to pull it off. I was a Packers fan last night. Now, if the Lions, or when the Lions win today, if they were going to play the Packers, had they won, I would have been rooting for my Lions. But last night I was a Packers fan, and that was a tough loss because I thought they had it in the bag. So condolences to cousin Stephanie from Gary, Indiana, who will be coming to visit on the show sometime. You talk about a Packers fan. My cousin Stephanie loves her Packers. So condolences to all you Packers folks out there. We'll be talking very soon. That's all I got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out. Okay, let's do that again because I just hit the wrong button and pulled the wrong logo there. This is Carlton, and I am out.